Now, I don't know about you, but I am finding that I have a lot more time on my hands recently. And all this extra time means that I have the ability to try things that I'd either been putting off or that I felt needed more time. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you are all doing the same thing. Catching up with TV shows, watching those films you've been putting off, and playing those games that you either never had the time or you simply wanted to get to eventually. This is eventually. And one of the main games for me is Sea of Thieves. Now, this is a massively multiplayer online pirate simulation game. And all that means is that it is an MMO. And MMOs need time and effort to really get into what they're about and what to do. So I've been putting it off. But now I've been playing it for about a week. And the first thing I noticed when I went into the game was that it basically leaves it up to you to work out everything. There is a very, very small tutorial at the beginning, and then you're off on your own. And you have to either work it out for yourself, or you have to search online to work out what this new chalice thing is that you've just picked up. Can you sell it? Is it part of a mission? Why is he giving me a chest for it if I'm just going to sell it back to him anyway? There's a whole lot of things you need to know. So with that in mind, I have decided to do a couple of videos. This one is a quick look. Now, if you've never seen any of my quick look videos in the past, the idea is the majority of this video is going to be an unbiased, unfiltered look at what the game is, how it runs, what there is to do, all of that kind of stuff. But I will not give my personal opinion. It is an informative description of what the game physically is. So if you've always wondered, well, I mean, what is it? This is for you. At the end of the video, I will then give my opinion to tell you how I found it so far, what I've come across, the things that I like and the things that I don't like. There will be a timestamp in the description. If you know the game and you just want to jump to my opinion, then just click on the timestamp below and that will take you straight to that part of the video. I will also be releasing a video shortly after this that we're going to be on the same day, and it's going to be essentially a how-to video, and the idea being that there's an awful lot of stuff that I simply didn't know, and it took a long time to really just work things out. For example, like I said, I've been playing for about a week now, and I sailed up to an island last night when someone sent me a text message on the screen asking if I was hostile or not. Now, I had no idea you could do that, so I had to find the button to activate text so that I could reply back before they took my silence as vicious and tried to kill me. Well, the idea of the how-to will be I will try to deliver all of the very basic information so that you can just get up and running and go on your way, whether you're a group or whether you're solo playing. So keep an eye out for that. Like I said, it will be out shortly after this. But let's get to it. So, as I've just said, it is a MMO. It's a massively multiplayer online game, which means, first of all, you will be playing with other player characters. There is no solo server. If you're going to play the game, that has to be forefront in your mind. you will be playing against other players. But you do not have to play alone. Sea of Thieves allows you to create a crew of up to 4 people, including yourself. Now, that can be people that you know and are invited to your crew, or you can join other people randomly and you will then be part of their crew, in which you will receive a cut of all money and all experience that is gained whilst on that crew. Before you get into the game, you will also have an option of which size ship you would like to take, and you have an option of small, medium and large. Essentially, these ships will determine how much space you have, and it is completely your choice. If you want to be a solo player on the largest ship, I would probably advise to at least have a little bit of experience in control and playing the game first, but the options are there and you can sail off in a giant ship. Or if you're a squad of 4 and you go for the smallest ship, so when people come to try and ambush and you all jump out of your little ship, there's also another very legitimate option. But once you have your crew and you have your ship, you enter into the world of Sea of Thieves. And when you do, what is there for you to do? Because the moment you start, for the very first time, you will receive a very, very small basic tutorial, and then it is up to you. The main aspect of this game is controlled by increasing experience in different fields. There are several different options to increase experience in, but 4 of them are the main 4 that you're going to be focusing on in your normal gameplay. And these areas of experience are very much also going to dictate what you do in the game. Now, there are very much 2 styles of gameplay. You can either sail off and see what there is to do within the game, or you can acquire missions and follow those missions. Both of these options will give you experience and money, and both of them are very valid and very fun things to do. If your option is to just sail out and see what there is, then there are several things that you have the option of doing. First of all, and you know, the most obvious, is you can fight with other player crews in the game. Whenever you see another ship in the distance, you can arm your cannons, sail towards, and just start shooting cannonballs at them, see what treasure they've got, try and get as many kills as you can. This is very much the first experience area that you have an option for. It is fighting with and amongst other players. You also have an option of just pick an island on your map and go and see what's there. There's an option there might not be much there at all, but if you pick one of the bigger islands, then there's a chance that there will be stuff there. Stuff that you can pick up and sell for experience and money. There are special items that you can look at or collect and will give you achievements. There are messages in bottles which will give you special missions which will be above the level that you can purchase missions at, so they're definitely worth keeping an eye on. There will be treasure just strewn around the place which you can collect and sell. And there will be mysteries to unravel, including scary looking person figures that will hurt you as you approach, to special ashen treasure chests which you can't open unless you're able to find an ashen treasure key. So sailing from island to island is definitely an option, but you have to be careful, because sometimes when you sail towards an island, you could be bombarded by cannonballs because it's not an island. In fact, it's an enemy stronghold. Now, these strongholds will be controlled by NPC characters, and if you're able to get to the center and complete the stronghold, the waves of enemies, you will receive special chests, and this can be very fun to do, especially with multiple crews. You have the option of flying a special flag, which means that every crew that has the flag flying will split the treasure that they find within the fort. So you have an option of gathering several crews together and going off to try and take one of these incredibly tough fortresses. Now, this isn't all you might need help on, for you see, as you're sailing around trying to go from island to island, there is a high possibility that you could come across one of the two creatures that roam the waters of Sea of Thieves, and they look solely to sink your ship. Now, they may be slightly too tough for a single crew, especially one of them. However, if you wish to try, you're more than welcome to give them a go if you come across them. And if you want to go with the group, then that also is more than capable of doing. The first one is a megalodon, or a giant shark, and the other one is a kraken. Now, a lot of the time, the kraken will have all of its tentacles in roughly the same area, so fighting all the tentacles at once could be very tough, especially for a solo sailor. But it's there for you to give a try, so it's more than up for you to choose whether you want to do them, or whether you just want to put the sails to the wind and run away. Both of them are very valid options. Also, while you're sailing around, you may be set upon by skeletal crews. These will also give you an option of either trying to get away or sink them. Now, getting away from these are much tougher because they have a boat and they will be able to stick to you like glue. So the moment they're there, you have to be ready to fight, because they will put up a fight. But if you're able to take them out, then you have the option of getting some really good rewards for the fight. Now, if this isn't for you, and you like a much more structured gameplay, you want missions, you want someone to tell you what you need to do, then this game has that for you as well. For you see, you have 3 different experiences that you can increase within the game. And those experiences are within the 3 major unions within the game. They will provide you with missions for a fee, a small fee, but a fee nonetheless. And upon completing those missions, you will gain experience and items that can be sold for further experience and gold. Now, the first one of these you will be introduced to at the very beginning of the game. They are the Treasure Union. Now, they will provide you with missions and quests which task you to find and dig up buried treasure. Upon finding the buried treasure, the quest will be complete. However, you will gain considerably more experience and gold upon selling the treasure that you have found to the back to the Treasure Union, if you're able to get it back to the Treasure Union without anyone coming and taking it from you. They are pirates after all. The second union that you can go to for missions and quests is the Trade Union. Now, they are much more official, and they will require you to deliver crates and chests of goods from one person to another. However, these missions will be timed, so you have to be speedy and get these goods there in a sufficient time, otherwise the mission will be cancelled. So you have to make sure there's no dilly-dallying and that your attention isn't suddenly taken by something else that you happen to spot on an island or something. If the moment you start this quest, you have to do it before the time runs out. And then the third experience that can be gained is through the Mystic Union. Now, these are much more spooky. They're much more unknown. They will provide you with information on a skeletal crew that is need of culling, because they're causing problems. And it is down to you and your crew to find the island in question and then take out the crew. Now, in this game, as you're doing your wandering around the islands, there will be skeletons and ghostly type NPCs which you have the option to kill. And you have weapons at your disposal to do so. You have the trusty cutlass, you have a blunderbuss for close-up fighting, you have a pistol for more ranged shooting, and then you have a rifle if you actually want to take care of some of them on the ship. And all four weapons are given to you at the very beginning of the game. You have them when you start, so it's your choice how you wish to play and fight, whether it be NPC skeletons or other players that you come across. But whilst you're fighting these skeletons and ghouls and ghosts, you will discover some of them have a name. When you kill the ones with names, which are generally tougher, upon destroying the person with a name, the mission is complete and you will receive experience. However, once the person has died, their skull will be left behind, and it is your duty to return the skull back to the Mystic Union for a lot more experience and gold. As you progress in these unions, they will provide you with titles that you can assign yourself, and the titles will then gain you access to specialist versions of items that you can purchase and show all of your buddies and enemies that you are doing very well in these specific unions. But once you've been wandering and you've been plundering and you've been completing quests, you'll start to build up yourself some very nice amount of gold, and you'll be wondering, what is it I can do with this gold? Aesthetics, my friend, that is what you can do with the gold. In order for this game to remain very grounded, you do not have an option of buying better weapons, stronger hulls, or more powerful cannons. None of these are available for you. You can only predominantly purchase aesthetic items. These items will be based around things within the game, and they will give you options on how every single thing in the game will look. On the outpost islands there will be shops, and these shops will sell you everything from new clothes to new ways of which you look, so you can change your hair and your beard, etc. Every item you own can be changed on how that looks, including your shovel, your fishing rod, your banjo. You can also change your ship from the hull to the figurehead and the sails and the cannons. All your weapons can have new faces and new looks. Every single thing can be designed to look exactly how you wish. Everything can match. You can pick one style and kit everything you have in that style, or you can mix and match. It's your money, it's your choice. And then you also have a secondary money. This secondary money is called doubloons, and those are predominantly collected by completing missions with the current theme, which currently is Ashen stuff. There will be a man on the outpost islands who, when you come across Ashen goods, he will give you doubloons, and you can use the doubloons to purchase fancier stuff that is based around the current missions, the theme that they're currently doing. There is also an old shop that he has as well. So if you missed a specific theme that ran a few months ago, then you can still buy the items from that. And honestly, that's just really scratching the tip of the iceberg. There is an awful lot to do within this game. There's a lot that you can come across. I'm still learning, so there's bound to even be things I've missed. But I like to think that that has been a nice rounded description of everything that is available to do at the game, especially to start with. If you ever wondered and decided, then I like to think that this has given you a little bit of help in knowing what you can do and helped you to make the choice whether you want to take the plunge or not. Now, this game is part of the Xbox Game Pass, which is available for Xbox and for PC. So, with all this extra time on our hands, if it is something that you've wanted to try and you've never used the Game Pass before, if you sign up now, the Game Pass will be free for a set time. It's different depending on whether it's Xbox or PC, but just go and have a look. Sign up, get the free months, however many it is that they give you to start with, and play the game. Give it a try. It's free for at least the first month, so why not try it for a month? Just see how you feel. Now, like I said at the beginning, there will be a second video dropping today, and that video will be a very basic tutorial on how to play the game from the start. So if you don't know what there is to do and how to do it, even down to basics of like how to sell the ship, because trust me, it's you know, some people, you know, it doesn't tell you. So if you really want to know just the very, very basics, then by all means keep an eye out for that video. And now I am going to give my opinion on the game, and I'm going to give what I personally feel are the good and the bad, and what can be worked on, what I feel there needs to be, or what is really good the way it is. So if you don't care about my opinion, thank you so much for watching. If you skipped the description and you used the timestamp below to jump to this point, welcome, hello. I'm going to give my opinion now, because honestly, if I'm being really honest, I have recorded this 3 times now in the couple of weeks that I've been playing this game, because my opinion has changed a lot over that time, and I finally come to a point where I feel that I know how to play the game, and I know more about the mentality you have to have coming into this game, I personally feel. So I feel like it's definitely the right time to do this video for me, for my opinion. And my opinion is, I like this game. I think it's a fantastic game. Now, for anyone who has played Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, it really has that kind of a feel to the way the game plays, because the game is just a large selection of really small islands with a huge amount of sea between them. There are even times where I see a collection of seagulls and I feel, oh no, I've got to go away because that means there's a kraken there. Well, that's not the case in this game. If there are seagulls, it means there's a crashed ship there and you could get some supplies. So actually, it's very the reverse. But yeah, basically, I'm playing this solo. So it's just me and a very small schooner. And I'm just sailing around, completing missions, doing what I can. I'm not trying to fight people because I will be vastly outnumbered. And I'm just trying to see kind of how much money I can build on my own And yeah, sailing around for me on my own in a little boat does feel just like it just gives me flashbacks of playing Wind Waker. It really does. Just sometimes I wish I could change the direction of the wind, especially when I'm being chased. But no, I've really enjoyed it. The missions themselves start off at a good level. However, I feel like some of them are definitely tougher than others. So, as far as I'm concerned, the Mystic Union missions are the easiest for me because, I mean, essentially, the way I do it is I sail up to the island and I will snipe a bunch of the skeletons from the ship because I can use my rifle to do that. Then I take the blunderbuss onto the land and take out the rest of them and then just sail the skulls back to the Union. It's by far the easier missions for me. Then close second would be the treasure unions, because essentially you just have to find the spot on the island and dig it up. Sometimes it can be a little bit confusing, but for the most part they're okay. They're not really a problem. Whereas by far the toughest missions to complete for me so far have been the trade union missions, mainly because the time limit and the quantity. Because, so for example, if I dig up a treasure, the mission is complete and well done. If I get that treasure back and get the experience and money for it, that's my choice. But the mission's been completed, so it doesn't matter whether I'm able to do that or not. However, if someone comes and sinks me in the middle of a trade union mission, I'll lose the goods, so the mission won't be completed. Or if I run out of time, because on the way there I get attacked by a megalodon and I have to go a different way round, I run out of time and fail the mission. So it is one of those arguments where the trade union missions are definitely ones that you have to be prepared to do now. You don't want to be distracted by anything. You don't want to be attacked by other players. You just want to go off and do it. And they are probably the hardest that I've found to complete. But I've increased in experience quite a lot because I'm just finding crates of spices or crates of silks, and I just take them and sell them and get experience that way. So, you know, there are still ways to go up without having to do the missions. But for me, as much as I'm enjoying it, I'm finding the first thing that probably annoyed me was the sheer lack of explanation of anything, really. I mean, you know, you start the game and the guy, and you know, the mysterious stranger says to you, you need to get some money, go to the treasure union and they'll give you a mission. But that's it. That's literally all the experience that you're told. You're not even told how to sell your ship. And I know it's not overly difficult necessarily, but I don't know. There's still lots of questions that I'm having, because whenever I pick stuff up, nothing is ever explained, and I'm having to do an awful lot of Google searching and things, and I wish there was just a little bit more explanation of things, or even an option to turn that off if I don't want it. You know, that would be good. That would be good to at least know. But for me, I said it, you know, at the beginning of my opinion section of this video, I have changed my mentality of this game quite a bit, because on my first day of playing this game, I chose to do 2 treasure union missions. I sailed to the 2 islands, picked up the treasures, and on my way back I was sunk. And I was fuming, because it had taken me quite some time to get to these islands, to dig up these treasures, and I'd lost them. So I restarted, and I had collected another mission. I then started making my way to the island, and someone sank me. So when I restarted, I discovered that because my ship had sank, I was now quite a distance away from the island I needed to get to, and I was really annoyed. So I started making my way to that island when I found an island with some shops on. So I hopped off to see what there was, and then I died. So I respawned on my ship on this island and immediately died. I then respawned on my ship and I immediately died. And they were just camping my ship, killing me over and over again. Now, it's trolling, and I don't personally understand why anyone wants to do that. That's not fun. I mean, first of all, they're just sitting there wasting their time. At that point, I had to learn how to scuttle my ship, because that was the only option at this point. Which meant I then started even further away from the island, and I rage quit and turned it off. It took me a couple of days just to go back into it to give it another try. I was not happy. I couldn't understand why people would want to play the game if you spend an hour doing these tough missions only to have someone who's camping the stores to kill you, to take the reward themselves. I don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me why that would be what people would want to do. However, since I've played it more, I have come to the conclusion that if they sink your ship, well then they sink your ship. Who cares? You don't lose anything. Well, if you have items in the barrels like food or extra cannonballs or special cannonballs, you will probably lose that. But provided you're not doing a mission, well then they can sink your ship. Who cares? If you're on your way to dig up a treasure and you can see a player ship coming from a distance, just take them on. Let them sink you. Or just scuttle your ship and start again. If you don't want to fight them, if you can't fight them, like me. At that point, I really wasn't used to sea battles, and especially being on my own, I either have to stop the ship from sailing, which is dangerous to do in a fight, or I have to put it in a direction, put the sails down full, and then just man the cannons and hope I don't hit a rock or an island. But as long as you don't have anything on your ship that you're looking to sell, well then let them sink your ship. Who cares? It really doesn't matter. That's what you have to get your head around. Especially when you first start the game, it gets annoying. I mean, I've literally had my ship sunk a ridiculous amount of times at this point. Because 9 times out of 10, well, all the times but one so far, if a player sees another player, they just kill them. That's it. They just sink the ship. They don't question anything. They don't ask questions. They just sink that ship and try to kill you. That's it. That's all they want to do. So you have to understand that going into this game. I also have changed the way I feel about stuff I just happen to find on islands or in shipwrecks. Because like I said earlier on, there is a mechanic in that if a ship has been sunk, there will be seagulls, a big flock of seagulls in the sky. So if you see seagulls, sail towards them and they will give you a whole bunch of barrels, maybe some chests. Be a bit careful, because if there's a gun barrel chest, it can sink you. So you have to be very careful of that. But you can find a whole collection of goodies from these wrecks, or just strewn around the islands. And as far as I'm concerned, if it's not mission based and I lose it, I don't care, because I didn't go to all the work to find it in the first place. So I don't care if I lost it. And that's the only way I'm able to play this game and stay sane. Because frankly, Sea of Thieves is full of people that just want to be trolls. Their only mission is to hunt down players and kill them. But I do want to give a massive shout out to the people that are just not interested in doing that. There's not many of them, but yesterday, for the first time since I've been playing this game, I sailed up to an island to complete a trade union mission. It was quite a big island, and I wasn't aware that there was another group of players on this island already, because I couldn't see their ship. It was the other side of the island. But suddenly, text appeared on the screen and asked, am I hostile or not? They are not. Now, first of all, I was amazed, because this was the first group of people I'd come across to say that they were not hostile. Secondly, I didn't know how to respond, because at no point does it tell you how to write text on the screen. And I was getting more and more concerned that the longer it took me to work out how to do that, the more they might think I am hostile. Eventually I worked it out, and I typed in, nope, I am definitely not hostile, thank you. And we both just went about our quests. And it was fantastic. And I really wish there was more of that. So, yeah, that's my opinion for the whole game. It is immensely fun, but it is full of trolls. And you really have to go in it with the idea that you're going to be sunk a lot of times. Even if you're in a group of 4, you will probably be able to sink their ship as well. But it is highly unlikely that yours will not go down with it also. So, it's one of those arguments that as long as you go in there with that mentality, it's fine. It's, for me, the thing that I think is missing, I have this slight issue with the game, just in that I personally want a private server. I want to be able to sell this game, I want to be able to play this game on my own or with a group of my friends, not have to be worried that when I get back to my ship, it won't be there. Because someone's just sailed along, sunk my ship and sailed off. Because that's happened a bunch of times. I just want to play the game. I love the game. And I just want to play it on a private or a non-PvP server. That is what I want. I am genuinely surprised that there is no non-PvP server, because all other MMOs give you that option. So I don't understand why that's not a thing. But, fair enough. This is the way they wanted the game to be. Then, that's how it is. You know that going in. Fair enough. But at least give me protection on outpost islands. Just a little ring of protection. When your boat approaches any island, it will flash up on the screen the name of the island once you get close enough. That means you have a ring around every island that once your boat enters that ring, it flashes up the image on your screen. If it's an outpost island, turn off player damage. So that way, as long as I can make it to an outpost island with my belongings, I'm safe. That stops people shop camping. As far as I'm concerned, if my boat is parked up on one of these islands, they shouldn't be able to just sink my ship. That's not fair. There should be just a small little circle around these islands, which you already have implemented, to flash up the little logo, that if I sail to an outpost and it gives me the name of the outpost, I know that I am safe. Just a small little harbour of safety. It's all I want. Other than that, once you've tempered your expectations and you have your mind around the way the game works, it is a fantastic game. And it is definitely a game that I am going to be playing a lot more frequently going forward. So, that has been my not so quick look at Sea of Thieves. like I've said several times, there will be one more video going out today, and that video will be a very, very basic explanation on how to play the game for beginners, people that have never played it before. Just a very, very brief description of how to play the game. Even down to things like fishing, because that even took me a while to get the hang of. Plus, this might not be the only quick look that I do, being that I have an awful lot of time on my hands. There is a possibility that I'm going to try and look at other games and other things, so keep an eye out for those videos. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you again next time.